But another side of problems that we have is with fucking WWE and Friday Night SmackDown. Let me just go right into this recap of SmackDown, and I'm telling y'all right now, I I follow the primetime thing, but once again, I do it for subscribers, but I haven't done it in months, and I feel good about it. Which I don't do these Raw and SmackDown reviews like individual things anymore. But I enjoy like just catching up on the podcast, and tonight was one of those reasons why. I'm like, I don't mind interviewing AEW and just throwing NXT in there just for the sake of it, but it's more so for AEW. It seemed like the past 3 Rampages were actually pretty dope, so I need to start getting back into Rampage. But we could have SmackDown.
No, this past week was Jade and yeah. Watch it.
She had the baddie thing going on, so I didn't see all of Rampage this past week. But come to SmackDown. So once again, it was like, look, do I watch the NFL draft or SmackDown? We know which one they were turning to. It's the NFL draft. You're not watching on SmackDown right now, but SmackDown was a tape show anyway because why? Were they doing a tour?
They're in the UK this week.
Oh, they're in the UK. Okay. Yeah, since they're being in the UK, they taped SmackDown, and you could tell this show was just like taped because the piped in stuff. The crowd is dead for it in the first place because you had to sit through 4 hours of SmackDown. Imagine that shit. We kick it off with the steel cage match with Drew McIntyre versus Sami Zayn, and obviously the storyline is Sami keeps getting away every time him and Drew had to have a matchup. Well, not this time, as McIntyre suplexes Sami from the top of the cage and then hits a Claymore, and call it a day. Then they show some recaps from Ronda Rousey and Charlotte's contract signing last week, which this match is just feeling so. What's the word I'm looking for?
Bland.
That too. It just sucks. There's no energy in this thing at all, and I'm just like, I thought Ronda and Charlotte would have, a better atmosphere, but it doesn't. It really doesn't. Happy Corbin comes off of Happy Talk and says that the fans detest Madcap Moss just because, as much as he does, his awful jokes drag down the show at WrestleMania and at WrestleMania Backlash. So Madcap, the only thing that he did was funny was think that he could beat him, and they're arguing over a fucking Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal trophy. That mustard trophy. That's what they're fighting over. So Corbin talking about he made Madcap Moss, and then and mold and shit the way in today. Everything touches the goal with him just as he made Madcap Moss, and he'll destroy him. But tonight he's going to settle for destroying one thing Moss loves the most, and that's his Andre Giant World Battle Royal trophy. I doubt that's what he loves the most. Two people bring the trophy to the ring from the back, and then one of the people end up being Madcap Moss, and it takes a sledgehammer out. Huh?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay, yeah. This whole segment sucked.
It did. This whole show did.
Yeah, this whole show did. I mean, people don't I'll reiterate that, but yeah, this whole thing, I was like, y'all really arguing over a fucking mustard trophy that obviously they had already said doesn't mean anything. Whatever. Ricochet taking on Shanky for the Intercontinental Championship. Ricochet was a roll up because we don't get enough of those these days. And Shanky gets mad at Jinder Mahal, who gives a fuck.
Real quick, speaking of roll ups, I'm so mad I didn't pick the New Day because Xavier Woods has been winning like 4 weeks in a row with a roll up.
Yeah, with the backwoods, man.
I'm like, I should have picked Tail because all he did was win with the roll up. I'm like, oh my god.
Good point. No, I think we're gonna probably pick fantasy, pretty soon anyway. Raquel Rodriguez taking on Kat Cardone's Donza? Okay.
That's a fake name, but I like her.
Oh, okay.
She's a Layla Gray.
A Layla Gray?
Layla Gray?
Oh, that's the name. Gotcha.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, she's been in AEW a couple times. Yeah.
Well, Raquel Gonzalez catches her with her. How she pronounce her name? Her finishing move name.
I don't even know. I didn't even know it had a name.
It's Chingona.
I don't know.
China Golden Bomb. I call it the 1 hour power bomb. Well, she wins with that.
That's probably a new name that they just gave it.
Probably. She had it for a while.
I'm talking about the name.
Oh. And Walter are just showing, their dominance. So then we go back and we have
Who's Walter?
I ain't doing this with you. Adam Pearce officiates. There's a contract signing to unify the belts and WrestleMania Backlash between the Usos and Arcade Bro. So they sit there. They argue. This is the segment to me that made me really mad at SmackDown.
This is the one.
Say what?
This is the one.
Well, I mean, there's other stuff I'm saying, but the way this whole thing was, a problem. They took a little jab at Jimmy. So he need to wear name tags, as they don't know which one he is because Jay is the right hand man, while Jimmy a little bitch type shit like that. I didn't bring it out. They start fighting, and then all of a sudden, Drew McIntyre comes out. After Roman comes out, and they are fighting, and then Drew McIntyre comes out, and then Drew starts swinging. Has a sword and stalks the ring, and then Usos try to come there and beat him, but Drew lays them out, climbs to the ring, and Drew hits a belly-to-belly suplex, and Roman rolls out the ring, and then that's how the Bloodline retreat. So now, Paul Heyman afterwards finds Adam Pearce and says Roman isn't happy right now. He wants to, facilitate a good relationship between Pearce and Roman. He'd like to add Roman to the match, make it RK Bro and Drew McIntyre taking on the Usos and Roman Reigns. Pearce just can't ignore the unification match, and Heyman admires that the guts appears to do this, even though it's against his best interest, as now Heyman has tons of ammunition to take Pearce to task against the board of directors, and Heyman says Pearce can make the match and he will. And that's what he did. Granted, there are another Raw and another SmackDown to throw that unification in there, but the purpose, Roman, by storyline purpose, this is why I'm saying it's hard to write for wrestlers, because Roman told the Usos to go to Raw to get the tag team championship because he wanted more gold. Yes or no?
That is true.
So with that being said, they going to unify the championships. So all of a sudden, Drew McIntyre comes out there where Roman is beating them up, and he gets his feelings so much to the point where he wants to stop the Usos from getting the tag team championships from RK Bro at WrestleMania Backlash, so they can have all the gold, to stop and to add him to the match just so he can get his hands on Drew McIntyre. What sense from a storyline perception does that mean?
Yeah, that's what I said. He's got to be still hurt because ain't no way.
Seriously. You make a 6-man tag team matchup and drop the title unification where that was a bigger match in the first place to unify these damn titles just to have a fucking 6-man tag, just to have them on the card? If you wrote the right way, because honestly, if the storyline was better and they had better writers, Ronda and Charlotte could have main evented this show.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where it's like, if Roman could have just been sitting in the back, you didn't have to do any kind of Roman Reigns type of shenanigans, whatever the case may be. So that makes absolutely no sense to me. It doesn't make no sense whatsoever. And even if they add it, why? That means if they, it's just like if you add a title unification matchup, it automatically gives away the winner because Roman's team's not going to lose at all, and they'll end up having all the belts. But it's like a giveaway. This whole thing, I just sat there and looked at it like this is fucking stupid. It really
they just wanted to get Roman on the show, probably not have him have a one-on-one match. Basically, the Usos do the work, and then Roman comes in and hit a spear and wins. That's pretty much what they're going to do.
That's pretty much what's going down to, and it's probably going to be Riddle. It's probably going to be Riddle. If Roman's still trying to nurse an injury, and just I forgot what I was about to say. But it doesn't matter. Moving on, Naomi taking on Natalya. Was it Natalya? I thought it was Shayna Baszler, wasn't it?
Skip. Either one. Skip.
Yeah. I'm sorry. She did face Shayna Baszler. Skip it. She rolls her up. At the end of the match, they beat down her and Sasha. Shayna Baszler and Natalya did. Doesn't matter. Ridge Holland versus Xavier Woods. Oh, by the way, they still have a picture up in the back because nobody can find Butch because he's missing because he's like a rabid dog when he gets mad. Gives a fuck. Xavier Woods wins with the backwoods, but afterwards they go to Kobe versus Sheamus, and then Sheamus wins with a bro kick, and then after the match they put Xavier Woods through a table. So yeah.
I got a quick question though.
Yeah.
How is it that Baron Corbin could be king for 3 years, but Xavier Woods going to be king for like 3 months?
Yeah, I don't know why he dropped the king gimmick. I don't know why they made him drop the king gimmick when he even get a chance to really be it. I'm just like, this makes no fucking sense. Chapter 4 of the Lacey Evans story is here. I'm sorry, it's starting. When it started, it was good, and I've admitted that on the podcast. And now it's getting redundant. And it's getting to the point where now it's just like, okay, just debut. Because y'all trying to build some sympathy. It's like, you empathize with her story in the first part, but when we get to the fourth part, and you're still kind of talking about certain things, so that it feels like, I'll explain, just empty, I'm guessing. The whole
Stupid.
segment. I'm talking about the Lacey Evans segment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it just feels fucking empty to the point where people are not going to like her. And then when she comes back, they're not going to get the reception that they expect. It started to really get kind of redundant to the point where it's just like, this doesn't feel natural anymore.
Yeah, like everybody don't need 6 weeks of promo for the debut. Like it's not that hard.
I was cool with the first 2 parts and call it a day. That's all you needed. We go part 4, and I'm like, it's starting to get, like.
Yeah, so a whole month of her just talking about her dad.
Like, shit, like, is this thing going to be a day like you killed this motherfucker or something? Because that's what it's leading to, and we just ain't getting there yet. So, then we have one of the worst gimmicks in wrestling, the Beat the Cock Challenge. Ronda Rousey versus Shotzi Blackheart, which is a match like, maybe with Ronda's first run I would like to see, but this run, give 2 shits. The fans chant "You tapped out" at Flair, or it could have been recorded, I'm not necessarily sure. Ronda hits another suplex and then rolls to an ankle lock submission, and the referee checks Shotzi quits. And Drew Gulak rings the bell. 1 minute and 41 seconds it took her to beat Shotzi. We have another Beat the Clock challenge. Smackdown. We have Charlotte taking on Aaliyah. So, Charlotte is just being.
So that was like 10 seconds?
No, she was being very, very cocky with Aaliyah because and what happened was she goes and is flagging off to Ronda and stuff like that.
This match is these matches make no point. No, if they already, this match would have been better if they was like, okay, winner gets to pick the stipulation.
Exactly.
But since it already has a stipulation, this makes no sense.
Exactly. That's what the whole theme of the show was. This shit don't make no sense. And Flair rushes back and tries to apply the figure 4 at 10 seconds, but Aaliyah does not tap out at all, and she loses the matchup because Ronda beat Shotzi in a quicker time. So Charlotte was upset, and Ronda heads back to the fans, and they can chant, "You tell out the Flair." And Flair gets mad and goes to the Timekeeper Gulak and starts beating him up for it. So that's her new thing now. When she's pissed, she's gonna start beating up Drew Gulak before he get released. That was.
I don't think he gonna get released.
Oh, I sure as I hope not.
That was SmackDown. He trains everybody.
Okay. That was SmackDown in a nutshell, everybody. It sucked. It really, really sucked. So, you guys are talking about how you like SmackDown, but it sucked. This is the reason why I don't like doing these reviews. It gets a thumbs down from me.